At times, Western thought is seen as the pinnacle of intellect. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. Most cultures tend to regard their intellectual systems as superior. It's human nature. However, problems arise when these models are used to evaluate and judge other civilizations. For example, Western scholars searching for a European Plato in Africa often miss out on experiencing the authentic intellectual traditions of African civilizations. Today we'll explore why this is the case. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Africarized. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Like, share, and leave a comment. The question of where to find Africa's great thinkers, its ancient and medieval philosophers, requires addressing the broader debate around African philosophy itself. Scholars often discuss whether African philosophy truly exists. One point of contention involves ethnophilosophy, a concept that refers to general African worldviews derived from culture, myth, folklore, and folk wisdom. While some African scholars argue that ethnophilosophy isn't true philosophy, it undoubtedly demonstrates the existence of great African thinkers. This is the focus of our discussion today. Historically, Europeans claimed that Africa lacked great thinkers. Many anthropologists viewed the continent as a dark land devoid of reason, civilization, or intellectual achievement. Notably, philosophers like David Hume and Immanuel Kant perpetuated these beliefs, asserting that Africans, by virtue of their race, were incapable of reason and civilization. This biased mindset ensured that no African Plato would be acknowledged, let alone sought. However, in the 20th century, a Belgian missionary named Placide Tempels challenged this narrative. His study of the Baluba people in Congo led him to propose the concept of Bantu philosophy. He argued that Africans possessed their own sophisticated intellectual traditions. Reflecting on this discovery, Tempels admitted that his earlier assumptions were wrong. He had thought of Africans as great children with nothing to offer intellectually. Instead, he found adults molded by a rich philosophy of life. Although Tempels' work marked a turning point, it did not produce a recognizable African Plato. Why? One explanation lies in the communal nature of many African societies. According to scholar O.A. Ayoade, traditional African cultures discouraged attaching individual names to ideas or objects, as doing so implied exclusivity and self-importance. In these societies, knowledge was communal. Your knowledge is our knowledge. This cultural value, widespread across the continent, made individual intellectual promotion uncommon. Additionally, the prevalence of oral traditions over written records in Africa contributed to the absence of a documented Plato. While writing did exist in some African cultures, oral preservation was often preferred. Oral traditions emphasized memory and collective wisdom, but they do not leave the textual legacy that Western scholars expect when searching for intellectual figures. This difference in values, communal knowledge and oral tradition, means that Western scholars searching for an individual like Plato in Africa are likely to miss the broader picture. Such an approach often leads to the same uninformed conclusions as those held by philosophers like Hume and Kant. In summary, the absence of an African Plato in Western discourse stems not from a lack of intellectual achievement, but from cultural differences in how knowledge is valued, preserved, and shared. To truly understand African culture, we must reframe our questions and acknowledge our biases. If you found this perspective enlightening and want to support further exploration of African history and culture, consider supporting this platform. Thank you for joining us on this journey through African intellectual traditions. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Africarized. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Like, share, and leave a comment. Your support helps us bring more insightful content to you.